most people legitimately understand that I feel if you have any amount of guidance, if you want something, you work hard at it.
Yes.
But we, as comedians, all we need is someone to say, hey, you have to work hard. And we go, oh, that's a good point.
I never thought of it that
legitimately
way.
had never even considered that as a possibility.
I thought it just happened.
Yeah.
You'll get better if you work hard
at it.
That's never been true in my life.
It was just a poster on my classroom wall. But
Yeah, you're just...
like really, life is you learning that the posters on your 5th grade wall was true.
Yeah.
Like attitude is gratitude. Oh my
You miss
God.
100% of the shots you don't take.
If I shoot for the moon, I will land among the oh!
A kitten. It was just a poster of a kitten. Also a kitten in a field.
Get in the field. Cats.
Cats.
It is that. It
A is
fu-
for apple. That's a good point.
My God. And I think that's what it was. It's like you were listening to all those things that you didn't fucking ever just give a
But when
fuck
did
about.
you realize that?
Welcome to Wolf Family Therapy. The doctors today are Jamie and Tyler, and the appointment will start briefly. Thank you for patiently waiting. The brothers will see you now.
My brother's 5 years older than me. My older brother. My younger brother's 3 years younger than me. So it's like right there, kind of in that same
So you have 8-year difference?
8-year difference between my bigger brother and my younger
And
brother.
you're... Okay.
Yeah.
Were you close with him?
My big brother was a menace and a fiend. My little brother was my best boy. And then we had a falling out, very big falling out, and then we came back together. My big brother is now, it's a whole...
Wait, with your big brother?
Let's
What?
go.
With your big brother you had a falling out? Or your
No,
younger
my
brother?
big brother was always like a horrific influence.
bully.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, we
Beat-
jump in, we
beat-
don't do
beat
any...
you up.
Yeah, dude, horrific. He would not just beat me up, he would do like psychological shit. He would like pin me down with my back and then delete my Ocarina of Time file and stuff. So he would like
Really?
the files that I got, all the heart containers and stuff, like really went in. My special file.
Damn.
He would just get angry one day and be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking delete your file. And then he'd like pin me down, make me look, curb stomp me into this and just like slowly
Drag
delete
it over?
Yeah.
Oh,
then
God.
The little fairy cursor and then just,
And what does he do now?
he want to go watch Star Wars? Like now he's cool.
No, but...
Oh, you mean
no,
like as a, like
that's
a,
his job.
oh, like as a job. He's an accountant. He has a wife. He's chill as
Classic.
fuck. He's
Classic.
just like a menace.
And you just look at him like...
Dude, for a long time, yeah. For a long time, he would be like, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, you are Hitler to me.
What's the agenda here? What are you going to do to me when we hang
you
out?
are my literal Hitler.
It's like Hitler. So, when do you want to
So, the
Do you
Star
want
Wars,
to watch Star Wars?
they have a double feature on the cinema.
The Jews are like, what's changed? What's the trap
That's
here?
like, yeah, that's like Hitler going to a synagogue. Like, we're good, right?
Yeah.
You guys want to hang out or what?
But just pretends nothing happened.
That
Doesn't-
was years ago.
yeah. He goes,
You're still upset about the 6 million?
I can't believe you guys remember that.
I was on Lexapro. It was crazy. Don't worry about it.
Mood swings.
You know how they get. When I get bipolar. But now I'm in my manic phase.
I was in a bad place when that happened.
Let's go play laser tag.
Laser tag with guns? Okay. Oh, it's laser guns, guys.
Come on, you guys.
Laser Uzi. Yeah, he was the worst guy in my life. Well, he was a very troubled dude.
Hitler?
No, Hitler actually is more of a guy I look up to than my brother.
Your brother.
Hitler certainly had a less negative effect on your personal life.
on my
than your
actual,
brother.
Yeah.
Going back in time and kill Hitler. No. Go back 30 years and don't give my mom wine that day when
Yeah.
she fucked
Yeah.
and got Noel. I love all my brothers now with all my heart.
Yeah.
It's I'm 32. He's 37. My little brother's 28. But my brother's 29, and it's all good now.
Yeah.
But dude, it was not an easy. Like my mom and dad were not like rich with my little brother, and they did not know how to raise this fucking first kid, so they kind of fucked him up. He was crazy, and he was always negative. He was always fighting the parents, always getting, always just fucking.
So he was like the rebellious son?
Bro. And I was just like his fucking bitch kid. I think, but here's the thing: they were so loving to my brother that he was a shit. So I think they had me just so they could beat me, right? And then they did. And then I was like this beat ass kid. And then my little brother came out, and he was babied. But then we became best friends. So we were like really, really fucking good energy. But Noel was always out fucking off doing some crazy shit.
But you were the one who got the brunt of the...
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Huge.
That makes sense.
Huge. No, Arnab would be crazy. Arnab would like, he almost did get beat for his life, but he did this weird thing. I don't know if it was like real or not. When he got, So I would get beat.
Is this your younger brother?
My brother Arnab. So it's me, Noel is above, and then
Arnab
is my little. So I would get beat by my mom, and I'd be like, stop. And that's like a really kind of crack to a mom who's beating, because you're like, as a mom, you're like, yeah, it's working. Scared, bitch. And Arnab would do this thing. I remember seeing this one day, and this was the last time I ever saw him got beat. He was a kid. I was like, 5, 6, and he was like 3, 4. Mom goes in for the classic, like, okay, we're gonna beat you now.
Yeah.
He gets beat, right?
What's the weapon of choice?
Like a dough roller, or like a spoon that's like being used for cooking, so it's still like gravy on it. And he gets hit, and then he like gets hit. He looks up and he's like, "This is true." He's like, for the mom, he's like, "Hit me again."
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
He was like 4 years old.
He was 4 years old, and he's like, he looks up,
savage.
He's like, "I'm hard. I'm fucking hard right now." What? And my mom was so freaked out because that was such a reaction she's never seen before. She stopped beating him.
Hit me again.
Hit me again. So either he was actually becoming Albert Fish, right? Or it was like a ploy. He was that smart.
Yeah.
And my brother is a smart ass dude. He works for Amazon right now as a data scientist. He's fucking
shit.
legit smart.
He
fucker.
pulled the Joker on her.
He pulled the Joker on her. Hit me.
Wait, what? No.
I'm fucking hard. I want you. I want you. Yeah. And so it was that level of weirdness, and I think it might have been he was that weird. Because he was 3 years old. No one should have that much subterfuge ability.
Yeah.
Hit me again.
In any scenario, it's weird what he did, and so for her to stop was probably the correct reaction.
Correct. And then she went like she used that energy to back to me. It was just like I was getting beat all the time, dude. I was really getting beat.
Yeah.
Were you a bad kid though?
I
could see you being a wild kid.
A little wild kid. I was a very smart kid because of my dad's brain and shit.
Yeah.
But if my mom was like, she was a draconian with the SAT work. So she made me study for the SAT since I was like 5, 6.
No way.
Oh my God.
Really?
You were like learning SAT words back then?
And like she was like literally like maybe like 7, 8.
So you knew the word draconian when you were
I was like, Mom, this is draconian. And she's like, it's about to get mad draconian right now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She hits you. Isn't that a bit hyperbolic, mother?
That's Arnab. Like, that was mad hyperbolic.
Whoa.
It was insane, dude.
How intense? I mean, just studying in the first place is a lot, but how intense was it? You doing like 4 hours a week at that age?
No, really what it was like anytime there was like a break, like
go study for your SATs?
Yeah. Like everyone loved spring break or like everyone loved fall break. I hated fall break because fall break.
Study during fall break?
In third grade?
Yeah,
SAT?
fall break was SAT, learn Bengali. My mom forced Bengali onto me. So
Okay.
and now I know how to read and like Bengali, my native
Really?
culture. Because my mom forced me to do it. Now I love it. Now I love that I can do it. Obviously,
Yeah.
Can you speak Bengali?
yeah. I can speak, read, and write Bangla.
Holy shit.
It's fucking
Bangla?
crazy. Bangla, yeah.
Whoa.
My mom would force me. And what happened was like basically I was a big RuneScape head, a big Warcraft head.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go upstairs and be like, I'm studying, and then I would just play RuneScape and play Warcraft and StarCraft.
Nice.
And I was upstairs, so frequently I would have like the headphones in. And then do it like while I was playing.
No.
This is why she hit you.
And I could just, I could hear the last step before she hit me. So even worse because there's the expectation. So by the time I look back, it's too late.
Oh, she was coming behind? Oh.
Yeah.
By the time
Dude, and then it's a hilarious dichotomy. The RuneScape guy is dancing, and then I'm getting my ass reamed. I got whooped for real, with the SAT book. So the thing, it's like she like beats you with the book, then you got to go back to the book that just hit you. It was a lot of bullshit, dude. You wonder if someone works really hard. It's fraught with a lot of shit that got me there.
Did you get on the SATs?
Like 14, 50, 1500.
I feel like that's
Okay,
failing.
so that's pretty good.
I mean, it's good.
No,
but
that's when.
It's not as good as what I should be.
That's out of 1600.
I know, but it
Yeah.
should have been a 1600.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
1500 is quite good.
It is
Yeah,
very
I
good.
know, but if you've been practicing since you're 8 years old,
Yeah.
your mom was probably pissed when you got a 1470.
You just call me retarded.
a little bit.
For getting a 1500.
You only got like
Was she pissed?
400 more than I did.
No, she loved it. Because
Yeah, that was good.
If you got above 1400, you were good for any
Okay,
school.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ivy was 1400 or above.
Yeah.
So I had gotten like all this shit from Harvard and like people from like Harvard trying to get me. I was a kid.
Where did
Okay,
you
okay.
go to school?
I went to UT Dallas. because we had no
The tuition was probably.
Yeah, my dad had no money. My dad is like a genius. He's like a legit genius. He was in a village with no water, like legit where you think people we used to live in back then. My dad was that, and he had eidetic memory.
Whoa.
No way.
Yeah, he
really?
had my dad. Now he's like old as fuck. But he had legit a village kid with eidetic memory. Wow.
Shit.
He described it to us, and we told him what it was. He was like, "No, I used to read a page, and I could recite the page immediately." I'm like,
You're like,
"Dad, that's photographic memory." He's like, "What?
That's fucking
You guys
wild.
can't do that?" And I'm like, "Dad, no."
He just thought everyone could.
He thought it was like a thing.
Oh my god.
You know, you think your family, you think what your family does,
Yes,
what everyone
everyone
does.
does.
My dad thought everyone had photographic memory, but he was a legit genius in a fucking backwater nothingness.
Where was it? Where in
Medinipur in Calcutta, outskirts of Calcutta.
in Calcutta? Okay.
So like outskirts basically.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Calcutta is a massive city.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was in this place called Medinipur, which is now a fine place, but when he was growing up, had no rice, had no fucking industry. It was a bunch of dads who had to travel 3 hours a day just to get to the city to work, to get $5 to come back. Brutal,
Another 3
brutal
hours, yeah.
shit. Brutal shit. And my dad was just a genius in all this fucking shit. And he kind of like, the way he got famous was because he like skipped town to Bangladesh because there's no food in his place. He did this like national exam that everyone does. That back then they would post your scores on the newspaper. That's how fucking big this exam was. And he posted it up, and then there was just like this release of the scores. And then one guy was like, nobody knew who this guy was. Everyone else was like known as being an academic star of the. And I was like, who's this fucker?
Whoa.
And they did some research, and it was my fucking poor ass village ass dad. And from then he became like this star. From then he went to Russia during Brezhnev's era to study, like all expenses paid. My dad knows perfect
High school
Russian.
or college?
College.
Yeah.
For undergrad, he went to Russia. And
did he even
knows
speak
perfect
Russian
Russian.
before
Wait, where in
He
Russia?
lives perfect. He went to Stalingrad. So he studied in Stalingrad at Patrice Lumumba University.
What did he study?
Telecommunications.
Oh.
Okay.
So my dad was this like, imagine a fruit cart vendor looking ass. Like, you know the guys in the lungi? He
I
looks
don't know
just
what
like
you're
that.
talking about.
Oh, yes, you do.
I have no clue.
And from our shared understanding, I continue. He looks like that. He speaks perfect Russian. He's like a fucking genius.
Did he before he moved there?
No.
He just learned it real
You
quick?
mean
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
No, he just learned it so quick.
Goddamn.
Because he's like, again, a genius. And he was pen paling my mom, and he like learned perfect Russian. He became like the star.
Where was
there.
your mom? Back in
India.
Oh, in India.
Oh, in Bangladesh, sorry. In Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh. Okay.
And they met back there. And they were pen pals, I think. Like his friend and my mom were cousins. Or his friend was
Wait,
my mom's cousin.
So he finishes school in Stalingrad.
yeah,
And then
comes back to Bangladesh
comes back to Bangladesh
to be a professor.
Oh, okay.
How did they end up in Dallas?
They moved to Canada because he got a PhD. He got a PhD program in Canada, all
Okay.
expenses paid.
Okay.
Jesus.
And then he was there. My dad's a genius, but he's also a genius in the way that he can't finish shit. You know, he's a
got the
genius
ADD
in the
genius.
true sense. He's a
Yeah.
genius. Like
Yeah.
you see me, I'm not a genius because I can deal with people.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's like charismatic like that, but
Yeah,
also
you can't.
like he's a weirdo. So it took him like 10 years or like 8 years to finish his PhD because he just couldn't do it. He's this genius who had no like drive.
Yeah.
Finally got it.
Like it was probably so smart he got bored with it.
He got
it's
bored
like one
with
of
it.
those. Like,
Right,
this
right.
is so easy.
It
Why am I
didn't even
doing this?
work with him, right?
Yeah.
Then his friend moved to New Jersey. I was born in Canada. 5 years, I moved to Jersey. Then moved to Dallas. And I was in Dallas. For
So
almost
you
my
were
life.
until you were 5. You lived in Canada.
Yes. Then 5 to 9.
You're a Canadian citizen.
I'm a Canadian citizen.
Holy shit!
Are you not a U.S. citizen? Even? Really?
You're not a U.S. citizen.
Sorry.
Wow.
Wow.
I know.
But you've been here. You must have like a green card or permanent residency.
You've almost been here
something like
30
this.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who doesn't accept my Canadianness is Nathan McIntosh, this comic. He's Canadian. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm Canadian. He's like, no, you're not, dude. You're not. And I'm like, I am. I'm
You're
technically
like,
I'm legitimately.
in a lot of ways, I
Hey,
am.
I'm-
Legally, where I was born, spiritually, yeah. I'm Canadian in here.
Bodily Canadian. Fluidly. Dude, it's so then I came, most of my beatings, all the bullshit, all the negative energy, all the brother fighting, all in Texas, all in Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah. All the weird shit, all the weird religious shit, it's all in Texas.
What did your dad do in Dallas? Was he still a professor?
Telecom engineer.
Telecom.
Yeah, so he's in Samsung.
But you said you grew up poor, you're saying?
Not poor at all.
Okay.
There was a poor phase.
Okay.
Really in Canada because it was like you were on student stipend.
Oh,
Yeah,
when
it's
you were
like
up there,
when you're a
gotcha.
professor,
You got
or
fucking nothing. PhD
yeah,
student, you got nothing. Then we got a good job in New Jersey. I was never hungry or anything, but very, very good job there. Became middle class maybe even upper middle class. And then he is a genius who doesn't know people again. So he went in all his money. He went on this gas station. Bro. He went in on this gas station with all his money with a family friend who was fucking
Oh no!
not good.
Straight up robbed him.
And my dad, again, he doesn't know shit, dude. He's just a fucking genius.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yeah, sure, here you go. He like put all of our money like in one swoop into this gas station. Lost it. He got cut out of it. And he didn't know how to like litigate or any of that bullshit. So he went into debt. He took out the mortgage on the house that we had in Dallas. I was just going into university at this time.
Oh, okay.
And luckily I got the fucking
that's why, the
stipend
full
and
ride, yeah.
and all this shit. He told me later, he's like, if you didn't get that, there'd be nothing there for you. You'd have to
You
go
wouldn't have
full,
gone to college? Or you would have gotten loans?
full loans or whatever. I was smart enough to get full loans. But I wouldn't be able to do comedy.
No.
Yeah, because you had
I'd have
shit ton of debt.
$100,000 in fucking student loans.
Holy fuck.
Arnab had the same thing, but he's a fucking genius and he just pushed through it with his
Where did he
job.
go to
Yeah.
school?
UT Austin.
UTL.
So
yeah,
he
all
just-
in state.
UT,
all in state.
yeah.
And he still had like
They give you some sweet
60,
deals.
70,
Yeah,
maybe
they do.
$100K in loans or whatever because he was going hard. But then he's like so smart, he paid him off.
Right.
Like he's worked at Amazon now. He's fucking rolling. in money.
What does he do at Amazon? Like
data
an
science.
engineer?
Machine learning.
Oh, okay.
AI.
Something really big.
AI guy.
Whoa.
Okay.
He
Jesus
codes. He codes. He's a
Christ.
coding mastermind.
So you're all kind of really smart, hyper
kids.
intelligent, hyper academically.
We're in there. We're smart. We all got our dad's brain a little bit, not as much as him. But
What did your mom do?
she was like a mom.
Mom, yeah.
Yeah. She's
What,
a bad bitch.
what did you major in?
What?
What did you major in?
She's a bad. I majored in
Professionally, my mother is a bad bitch.
Bad bitch. LLC, bad bitch. Dude, she majored in chemistry. I majored in biochem and music theory.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was a musician for a little bit. I was like a violinist.
Violin.
Oh, because you were going to go med, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Maybe I've spoken to you about that, but you were going to go to med school.
I got into med school too. I
And
was
then
in med
you
school.
made a decision to like give me a year for comedy or something like this.
Yeah. I told them that my mom's leg was broken, and it wasn't. She like went in for like some routine leg thing, and I had said it was broken in the deference letter
Yeah.
to them. So I had one more year. They're like, "Oh, your mom's leg's broken. You can take care of her. It's okay. Sure, no problem."
And then you just did
And
comedy?
I did comedy, and I worked for Jimmy John's, and I just accrued money.
You worked for Jimmy John's?
I was a delivery driver for Jimmy John's, bro. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best job at Jimmy John's, just delivering shit.
Just delivering shit. Yeah. I was a sandwich guy for a little bit, but I was just like delivering for like a year.
So you were in and you were like, you had a plan. You're like, I'm going to try this for a year.
I tried this for a year. And bro, I was bad.
In
And
Dallas?
I was bad in Dallas. I was not good at comedy. I was just like, I was all energy, no, nothing else. I was doing jokes that were so...
How old are you? You're
Bad.
18 at this point.
I was
right?
No,
20.
right out of college.
Yeah, I was
Oh, out
20.
of college, right? 20.
I was 21.
21, okay.
That's when I started, yeah. 21, 22. I was bad. I would see y'all like, when I saw y'all like starting comedy and stuff here, I was like, and I was thinking about my own era of at my age. Because you started like at 23, right? In New York?
20.
20.
Yeah.
And I would see you and I would be like, this guy is way better than what I was. I was so bad. I was doing like Hulk haikus. Like this is a haiku about Hulk changing into Hulk. It's
That's
like,
kind of funny.
It's like, oh my fucking God, I am changing into Hulk. Rar. I would do that on stage.
You did that on stage?
Yeah. I was that bad.
And that wasn't funny?
I would bomb. What are you talking about? You know what? I was very into like Eugene Merman and all those guys. And, so I was very like in my original phase before I found Burr and Louis. I was a Merman. I was Emo Phillips. I was a fucking
Whoa.
The kind of offbeat.
Really absurd.
Weirdo, man.
Yeah,
I will never show you guys who I was back then. I was so bad. But I see you, and y'all were just like killing it before the age.
No.
You're more my step. Maybe you're
Yeah, I
more
don't-
older.
That's not true. That's not
I
true because
started-
I actually remember very vividly. I was 20 and I had yet to get a laugh at Mike's. And I totally, you might not remember this,
Yeah.
but I'd literally yet to get any laughs. And so I was doing some jokes, probably just, I mean, I know they were really bad, but doing some material at a mic, and everyone was silent except you were laughing really hard. And I literally said to you from stage, I said, "Why are you laughing?" I was actually upset at you.
Yeah.
I went, "Why are you laughing?" And you're like, "Because it's funny, man."
I have a vivid memory.
Oh my God.
Jamie and I,
I was not
started.
better. There's no world. I was
Oh
not
my
better.
God.
You were just kinder to people, I think, because
Yeah.
you remembered how
Perhaps.
bad you had been.
The experience.
And you were kinder than everyone else in the room, because everyone
Yeah.
else in the room is delusional. They go, I was never bad.
Yeah.
They're worse than you when you started. I was never bad.
Well, also,
This guy
I'm
sucks.
laughing at someone's joke, like the idea, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm laughing at the idea of the joke, maybe even more than the
execution.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh, this is a great
Yes.
premise.
thing,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
Yeah, I had a vivid memory. Jamie and I started like the
Yeah.
same month. I was right out of college, and he was in the middle of college.
You were here for a little bit. I remember seeing you more.
I
here.
was just coming up,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what was happening.
Yeah.
But we were probably like 7 months in, and there was that show that
Yeah.
the three of us did. So we were like brand new.
Okay.
It was under St. Mark's Theater, I
Oh
think.
my God! That's the first time I met you. I think.
Yeah, it was the first time we met.
yes.
But it's funny that you thought we were like, damn, these guys, because you went on stage, and I remember being in the back like, this is the best performer I've ever seen in my life. I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Why are we on the same show right
Yeah.
now? I don't even have a single joke.
Yeah.
And you were ripping a bunch of kids that were from college with
Yeah.
me.
With you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I do. I remember
They'd all
that.
come from like office work.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is when, right, because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, is I had the same feeling to like Aaron Berg and Dante Nero when I first came to New York.
Yeah.
Like, no one can be this good ever.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's even true. It's just like when you're so blown away, you end up getting those skills, how to crowd work a white
But you don't even
market.
know.
You get those skills 1 year in. It's not that amazing. You can all do that now with ease.
Yeah.
With ease, right? But back then you're like, oh God, JP Morgan, but like he didn't even. When do you think about that? When do you think? When do you say JP Morgan in his head and said it? What? You know, these skills are like before you get them are like way. They seem way more distant.
And you don't even know like how to get them. Besides,
Right.
you just realize, oh, you just do it a bunch.
You just do
and
it a
then
bunch.
you learn how to.
And then you realize that it actually was the easiest thing possible is shitting on a bunch of white collared guys. If you saw that now, would you be like, what? You said Morgan Stanley and then they crumbled. Dude.
Oh my God, they were dying at it.
You said he invested in FTX today? That's crazy. I guess y'all were so new that it was like, it seemed exponential, but it wasn't exponential.
It legit. Well, but
what
the
year
interesting.
did you start?
Was that?
What year did you start?
Like year of our Lord?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2014 AD, year of our Lord.
But the
Okay.
interesting thing is that when you even now it feels the same watching you or
Yeah.
anyone that I was watching in the beginning, because you guys keep getting better as we're getting better,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it just you keep.
Dude,
it's
yeah.
actually useful because you
Yeah.
see. You know, it's not like Louis, but you see someone like 5 years beyond you
Yeah.
in skill and everything. And you go, oh, like it's more approachable than going all the way straight to like being the best ever.
Yes.
It's more of-
yes.
They're really
Yes.
good, but they're not quite there. But
Well-
they're like, you see them go from good
Yes.
to really good to great, you know?
Sure.
You see the trajectory.
I mean, I've known you for like what? 8 years at this point. Like what? 8, 7,
6
8
years.
6
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
It's a long
yeah, yes, 6.
time. I wish you'd come more. I don't see you ever. You
Yeah.
know, I feel
Not
like you're
enough,
waiting
yeah.
for the big New York move. I'm like, let's fucking get here. Whatever. That's a whole different
Kinda
story.
just nailed it, yeah.
Story, whatever. But y'all have a very hard work ethic as well. I'm wondering, is that y'all's moms? Is that y'all's dads? Like, is that?
Dude, that we were thinking.
Yeah,
I know. We've
Because
talked
y'all
about
all,
either of
yeah, I was
them.
talking about your older brother.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
he's
blown
a-
away at his life, and I'm like, what? Is
He's
this a
like
Philly-
writing-
y'all- parents like dock workers who had a tough life in Philly or something.
Well, this is interesting because for you, it's so linear.
Yeah.
Because it's so clearly instilled, or maybe not
Yeah, it
instilled,
is,
but
it
it seems like it
just
was
like-
really
you
instilled.
soak it. Yeah.
Immigrant
From
as
when you were
fuck.
5 studying for the SAT.
Bro. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it stuck.
that's-
yeah.
And your work ethic is like, I'm going to do as many sets as
Yeah.
I'll do more than everyone
Yeah.
and just outwork everyone.
Yes.
And it worked.
Right.
And I don't know where we got it from because our parents are not hard workers at all.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Our mom is a hard worker.
Yeah.
Our mom had like 2 jobs growing up. She
Yeah.
like was a school teacher and worked at IKEA.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
she would like go from that job at
Dude.
3 to the IKEA job
I
and
remember-
work there until like 10 and then go to bed and do it again the next day.
Were y'all like middle class upbringing, or like even like lower
So
middle
our
class?
grandparents are upper class,
Yes.
but like we grew up very middle class.
Got you.
But we had like access to it because they'd
Sure.
like bring us places.
Sure.
The best description would be upper middle because
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
yeah.
it was less.
But it was the
It
weirdest
was less
dichotomy.
straight upper middle. It was like upper class in some ways. Like we
Wait.
vacationed on Cape Cod,
Whoa,
and then
go back to IKEA.
in other ways, exactly. Yeah, and then
We'd be
like
sitting around waiting for our mom to finish
at
her shift.
IKEA, we'd be like in the the daycare center at IKEA as our mom was working.
Okay, hold on. So
And then on Monday, it's
Wait.
like go to the private school that your grandparents pay for.
Wait.
Yes, but also we got for free because she was a teacher.
Right, but it was
Dude.
Eventually, then we got older and they paid for it.
So is this your mom's parents?
Yes.
Okay, so why? Wow, that's weird. So like they wouldn't give the money to your mom, or your mom didn't want it in some way. Like,
Well,
she's like,
they decided the only thing we're doing with the money is paying for their education.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
our contribution
Gotcha.
to the kids.
were your parents together, or was it like
They
were
divorced,
together until we were 5, and then they were apart.
and I was 8. Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Jamie was 5.
Jamie was 5. I was 8.
That's intense for a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it kind of hit
It
us all
was-
pretty hard. Oh, like
Yeah.
maybe you less so because you were young.
It-
Or you didn't understand it, maybe.
I didn't understand it, but
Yeah.
I get it now how it's affected who I am today
Fascinating.
as a
5.
result. Someone
Yeah.
made a joke. Well, it wasn't really a joke, but I saw someone say on stage recently, they were like, I have a boyfriend who is a child of divorce, which I like because every time we get into a fight, we break up. So it's like 1 month or 1 week a month. I just get to do my own thing, which is it's very true because it's like catastrophic thinking. You go whenever there's a problem, you go to the craziest.
I do that too. In my mind, like the smallest fight in a relationship, and I'm like,
Dude, that's
Why don't you?
it's over.
But I do
This
that.
sucks.
I
It's
do that
over.
with everything. I have
That's-
a bad set, and I'm like,
I do that too.
Over.
Well,
it's
the
over.
equivalent of that in comedy-wise would be like you're killing for 20 minutes, one line of one joke doesn't work, and you're like, well, okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I have that where
Yeah, exactly.
when I get
Yeah.
off stage and someone says good set to me, I'm always like, what were you watching? And then I listen
know
back
that.
and I was like, what was I living?
Yeah.
That wasn't that as bad as I like literally I think I bombed like every set.
Well, it's interesting. It's never as good or as bad as you think it is.
Yeah, that's
really.
100%,
To be
100%.
honest.
Oh yeah, whenever I get off and I'm like, oh, that was it.
Dude,
I listen
it's
back and I'm
never-
like, oh,
My
Yeah,
first
yeah.
laugh was 10 minutes in. It's brutal. It's really brutal. And I've had like one good set in my life, probably like a Don't Tell taping. That was like my one good set.
that's a good one to have
that's
a good
one
set
to have,
at. Yeah.
But like the idea of like truly great, maybe it's the immigrant thing that I was brought up with. Is like nothing is ever enough. Nothing's ever. It's all 89% until you get to the 100.
Yeah, I had a weird thing. I don't
that's
know where it came from. Maybe it was just like the appreciation of sort of like what our grandparents were doing for us. But my
Yeah.
big thing was always like just show up.
Yeah.
I was never going to do the most like until I did the research into like what made
Yeah.
great comedians. But with like sports
Yeah.
and like schoolwork, it was always like I'm never going to skip. I'm not going to be that
Yeah,
person.
okay,
I'm always
okay.
going to be there. But outside of those hours, I'm not putting in the work that I probably should be.
I'm
That's
trying to think
fascinating.
though of why we work so hard at comedy.
Yeah, because that explains like maybe y'all's like station in life, but like where does that like that hustle, Like I told Jamie, I was like, hey man, do more comedy than everybody else. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, immediately I'll do it.
Well, I remember him telling
But-
me that
yeah.
from you.
But here's the thing: is like once you, but like what part of that's a childhood thing. Like you wouldn't just. I've told that to people. I've told it to everybody.
yeah.
Anyone
Yeah.
asked me, I was like, do this, right? He asked me to Whole Foods one day. I was like, I was like, this is what you do, right?
Yeah.
I've told this to a couple
You
people.
really did break it down.
Right. And I told this to other people. I'm the only guy I told. Anyone who asked, I told. And only Jamie really did it. You know what I'm saying? So why did Jamie only do it? So why was Jamie the only guy who fucking listened to it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is interesting.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
is it like one of those fucking, you have one of those brains that just like, that just like, if you know something simply, you just go for it?
I mean, it's for just like doing as many sets as possible.
Yeah.
It's kind of the show up thing. It's like, well,
Right.
that part's the easy thing.
Well,
Just-
maybe it's like if there's too many different things, do you get overwhelmed with like when there's too many
Oh,
different
yeah.
things
Yes.
in one go?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Right. So
Totally.
maybe you hit me up, you're like, dude, there's too much shit going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's telling me different things. It's all
Yeah.
in my head. I don't know what
Yeah.
to fucking take. Maybe I gave you one specific thing to lock on, and that's when your brain
Yeah.
was able to fucking go in
Yeah, exactly.
hard, right?
Yes.
Louis C.K., they have a podcast about him. I don't know what episode this was, WTF, where they were like, when he was young, he couldn't take out the trash. He just couldn't do it. He couldn't do chores. Like,
Yeah.
it was just not in him to do it. It's too much shit going on. But someone was like, do this. And then he fucking did it, and then he got famous, basically. So like the idea of like locking into one thing could be something for maybe the certain type of brains. Like, it really locks you in. ADD prep, maybe like some sort of, I don't know.
It's a specific, well, part of it I feel is a little bit of like an addict mentality.
Yeah.
Of what you're saying before. of it's never enough.
Yeah.
You know? Because most people, even most comedians, legitimately cannot pay attention at a mic. They can't do 4 sets in a day. They get bored.
Yeah.
People get too bored too quickly. And I think part of it is innately definitely, and I feel I have a bit of it too, is like, it just stays interesting the whole time. I'm never.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I don't have a tiring. I could do as many sets as
100%.
I would be offered.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people have that because a lot of people like they get tired or bored or annoyed. They don't have this weird other instinct of like I just need to do it more and get better. And
Dude, they don't have enough self-hate.
Yeah.
In them because I think what keeps it interesting for us is that
true.
we're never okay with what's happening up there. We're always like, yeah, okay, I can do this, and we're always tinkering in a way that's berating us a little bit. This is me anyway, and it's never enough. And I think that's what keeps it interesting. Is it's just never good enough.
Yeah, whenever I listen back or like count sets, that nothing I've ever done has been like I feel good about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wrote 3 pages. Why the fuck didn't I write 5 yesterday?
I'll get an applause break, and I'm like, you fools.
Yeah,
You fucking
a
fools.
perfect example is a couple months ago when I was up here. I did 5 sets in a day, no,
Pretty big.
No,
What?
not big. I did 5, and I was feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah.
That in Philly is literally impossible. It's so easy to outwork everyone in Philly. 'Cause it's just like just go to everything that's available, and you're doing it more than most people. But that same exact day, I got home back here. Or back to Jamie's place, and we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I did 12." And I was like, "Tyler, you should go fucking kill yourself right now. You don't work hard at all. You piece of shit. You only did 5 sets. You're an asshole. You think you work? Oh my god.
12
Yeah, that
sets?
was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh
it was a Saturday.
no, the 12 day was like a day you documented, right?
I did, but I didn't do anything with it. But yeah. It was actually 13, but I missed one of the.
Right.
I couldn't take a video.
I
of
remember
one of them.
this day.
But I did. It was a part of a week. I actually planned a week around that day because I knew I had 9 booked shows that day.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, if I do like, I could easily do 4 mics.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, 13 in one day. I'm like, wait, how many could I do that week? And I had like, it was an unusual week. Like Tuesday through Friday, I also had like 3 shows a day. So I was like, oh my God, I could do like so many.
Yeah.
So I decided to see how many I could do that
great.
week.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. And you did like what, 50 something?
50.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, on the nose, 50.
Yeah.
I love it. Most I ever got was like 37.
I know you posted about it.
Yeah. 37 once. Yeah. 50 is crazy. I love it.
It's insane.
I mean, and now you look back and you're like, okay, well, I don't think I got better that week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I feel. Yeah. 100%.
I think I lost jokes that day.
I do have a very,
100%.
very vivid memory of. You're getting better in some ways, but I
Right.
do have a
course,
very
of
vivid
course.
memory of like, I think 4 of mine were shows, and I maybe did 1 mic, or it was 2 and 3, and something had happened to the first one, and then by the end, it was just already a joke.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, that's a
Dude,
huge joke.
yeah,
And then I got back, and Jamie's like, yeah, when you're in 13 sets, you're always in the pocket
You're
because
locked
there's
in.
no time where you're not really on stage. And he goes, I developed 3 new bits I'd never even
So
thought
badass,
of. And I was
so
like,
badass.
once again, I was like, God damn it. Why didn't you do...
Bro, you gotta move here. If you're gonna have this issue, you gotta move.
That's fair.
Don't be like, what's going on? What's happening? What can you do? Get over here, dude. But it's fucking daunting, dude. I know.
But it is like, well, that's the interesting thing is, I feel like you saying it to me is what prompted me to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I've had
But
this,
I don't know why I took the advice. even.
That's a weird thing.
Just because I liked your comedy a
It's
lot. I
easier
thought
to
you were
hear
really
it from
good.
someone else, too.
you know, I've
It is easier to hear from someone else.
you know, what's interesting? I've had this moment with a couple of people that they say like, "Yeah, you changed my life," on a very normal thing. Eagle, one of my best boys, he's a hilarious comic. He had gotten like shit on by some comics when we were just starting out, like in the same time.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, you're just not funny, man. You're just not funny. You're not funny at all." And he came up to me. This is one of the funniest guys I know.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, am I not funny?" And I told him very special. I was like, "Yo, you're very funny, but you don't work at it." And that's what people are getting at. And since that day, he's done exactly as much as me as well. Something, maybe you just need somebody to love you once, you know, or someone to say, "Hey, man, I'm here. Like, this is what you got to do." Maybe we don't have any guidance. Like, this is why you do comedy, right? Like,
Yeah,
no one who's
right.
been guided well ends up here. Right? Right? And maybe I'm like your dad. I was your dad for one moment. Like, hey, son,
Yeah, that's it.
just do fucking more. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
If this is what you love, here's what you should
here's
do
what you
with
do.
it. Yeah.
And
Well, also, that's just an innate. Most people legitimately understand that. I feel if you have any amount
Yeah.
of guidance, if you want something, you work hard at it.
yes,
But we, as comedians, all we need is someone to say, "Hey, you have to work hard." And we go, "Oh, that's a good point."
I never thought of it that
legitimately
way.
had never even considered that as a possibility.
I thought it just happened.
yeah.
You'll get better if you work hard.
hard at it.
That's
What?
never been true in my life.
It was
At
just
anything.
it was
At
a
anything,
poster on my classroom wall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're just.
like, really, life is you learning that the posters on your fifth grade wall was true.
Yeah.
Like, attitude is gratitude. Oh my
You miss
God.
100% of the shots you don't take.
If I shoot for the moon, I will land among the oh,
A kitten. It was just a poster of a kitten. Also, a kitten in a field.
get in the field. Cats. It is that. It
A is
like-
for apple. That's a good point.
my God. And I think that's what it was. Is like you were listening to all those things that you didn't fucking ever just give a
But when
fuck
did
about.
you realize that? Did you know that innately when you started, or
So I was good at working hard because I was good
Yeah.
at school.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
but here's the thing, I was a very passive learner. I didn't give a fuck about shit. I didn't know shit about shit. I knew how to I knew what acetylcholine did in a Krebs cycle. I was very good.
Whoa.
Almost fucking.
Jesus,
I
that
don't
was
know any of those
just
words.
the words.
Sorry
that you
about
said.
Sorry about that. Was a 5-syllable
Wow.
word. Sorry about that.
That was one word? I thought that was
juice
3
makes
words.
you juice more. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. There's
okay.
juices, and the juice is juice.
Yep.
So,
You had to dumb it down for us so much.
and even then, you're kind of
we
like,
both
what?
went,
Juice
oh.
is juice. That
Juice
makes
is
sense.
juice, guys.
We both went, oh, and in our minds we're like, that still doesn't make sense.
That was an unironic oh though. Yeah, we're like, oh, it wasn't even a joke. Oh, hilarious. So I was very good in it when I was a kid at regurgitation of knowledge, right?
Oh.
For the first 18 years of your life, the only metric of how successful you are as a human being is how well you can memorize something.
Yeah.
That's literally the only
so true.
thing. Especially our era of education was like, learn it, memorize it, regurgitate, and then you're a good boy. You're a boy that's worth a lot, and the only skill you actually have is memorization. It's fucking insane how much credence we put to that. So I was really good at that, but I actually wasn't learning anything. I wasn't had any lust for learning, any joy for knowledge.
Yeah.
I was living this life that was just like passively smart. Started comedy, and I was like, oh, every piece of knowledge now had weight to it. Like me learning,
Yeah.
You could
made-
use it, turn
I-
it into something.
I could use it for something I loved, as opposed to just knowing it for just a grade, right? That if comedy saved my life in that sense, and like I was a dumb kid, I was genuinely dumb as a kid who didn't give a fuck, and I would just passively. My brain was better because my dad was a genius. I got some of his genes, and my neurons fired in the right way to do this. But I was just a husk, And then when I did comedy, I locked in. A lust for knowledge, and now I should put me in school now. I fucking go crazy now because I know what knowledge is and the power of it, and I have a love for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that idea of like me getting smart or like that work ethic came because I gave a fuck about something for the first time in my life, and then I already had those skills that were
The ability
that were locked in. Same with Louis. We keep talking Louis today, but Louis was a no name comic. He had nothing. He was doing all these weird bits that nobody was working with. So I heard that Carlin tape, made him cry, started writing things about what he was like actually scared about, his kids and all that. That became Shameless. But he had the skills of writing before, but the click in to the humanity and the click into the actual give a fuck about what's going on came in, and that's what saved him, So that's what saved me is like the click in. But the skills were already there.
And you did 1 year in Dallas, right? And then you moved?
Did 2 years in Dallas.
2, okay.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Did you get good in the second year? Like, were you doing well?
I had a stage presence, I would say. So by the time you
Which
saw me,
tricks people into, oh, shit, this guy's good.
Right.
Well, I never saw you when you were anything but
But-
really the best
you.
in the room every time.
Thank you, bro.
But also, that's not the highest of compliments. We were performing at an open mic at the Creek, but you certainly were the best in the room.
I'll say you were funnier than Phil 987. I'll give you that. And I'm like, shucks.
You were funnier than
don't gotta do
You were
that.
funnier than Candy, a woman who was not telling jokes but was stripping.
And even sometimes she was the hardest girl in the room. And there were some times where she had the best set.
To be fair, she did bury you several times. But often you were funnier.
Often you were funnier.
You went. I actually remember you following her once.
Oh, dude, it was at the creek, right?
Yeah. I remember one time because it was like you actually did well, but because you didn't do a joke, you were like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do a joke."
Yeah, you had to riff on that.
Yeah.
First of all, Creek was wild, dude. Creek was a wild time.
Insane place.
I mean, you were really new there. You were really like a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, I've seen you more as a kid than anybody else probably, because I would always be the one as like a guy who's like a different who was more in the club spots.
100%.
I've seen you more than anybody who's at my stage growing that years in.
Because you were still doing
I was
mics
doing
then.
mics forever,
Yeah.
so I would see these kids.
Such a good point.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
And so I love you guys because y'all are so good now. And I knew you, I knew Julio, I knew all these guys who were like pretty good.
Yeah.
Who are amazing now and making big waves. And
That's interesting because I actually feel like that's part of it. Part of going to the mics when you don't need to at all.
Yeah.
Like when you were doing
Dude,
it.
I loved it.
You love it, and it does help. You keep getting better, but also was that you now know everyone.
Yeah.
And the people at your level, like I'm still meeting people at your level.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, nice to meet. Who are you?"
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all the time. That happens all the
That's
time.
fascinating. That's fascinating. You've been the killer for so long. Everyone knows you at a certain level. Everyone knows you. And then like people that are my peers have no idea.
But
that
these
this
are
motherfuckers
people,
just like killing.
And then these people are like, they're like, how do I get booked on like Sesh? And I'm like, they're like, you book it, right? I'm like, that was 2 years ago. I haven't booked it in 2 years.
Yeah.
You got to hit it. Like they're just so behind.
Yeah.
Because they're not, and doing mics, it helps less than doing shows, but it helps you get better at comedy. But also it's what you're saying, which is like, you get to know the class below you. And then even sometimes I've gotten through like 4 different people I see every day at mics. Like classes, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Because they start running their own shows.
Yeah.
And you're their hero.
And then you get on the show.
Yeah, because you're accessible. You're accessible.
I know, Jamie. I don't know. You probably, Usama. You guys probably don't even want to.
Yeah,
but would you do my show?
How do I tell them that I would pay you to do the spot? how do I make them not realize that ever? Because if they knew that, it would be the end of my career.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because once you're around, like I started doing I was on the road a lot, and I started doing mics again when I got back to the city. And when I got back and started doing mics, people would like just throw me. They would like put me on like I was like dropping in. But now I've done them consistently enough that they're like, you got to pay and you got to like wait. Like it's gone back to
You loop back around.
Eventually, when your stardom becomes humanized, you become fucking annoying again.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
you're annoying again.
I remember one time one booker was like, "Man, Sam Morril, if he hits me up one more time," I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Sam
Oh, you're annoyed at Sam Morril.
Wants to do your show
again and again and again and again. I get it. You're like, fucking Sam, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember I was hanging out with Tim Dillon once at his fucking Texas house. And he's like, watch this. He puts a speakerphone on. It's Louis talking about some idea he has for a podcast. And he's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
This guy won't stop.
And I'm like, we are now shitting on the best comic alive in a house. Just because Louis called him one too many times or something. It's insane, dude.
This guy will not leave me alone.
Yeah, you don't.
I gotta block
you don't
his
want
number.
them to be human. You want them to be this crazy, unapproachable idol.
What I like about y'all is like y'all are all in the business and y'all are fucking friends, like true friends. Like your sister too.
With each other, or what do you mean?
Yeah.
With each other.
Oh yeah.
Your sister as well? Where's she?
I've
lives
actually
like 10
this whole
minutes
weekend
away.
I've been staying with her. Yeah.
Did I meet your sister before? No. She doesn't come to shows?
You probably have met her
Maybe
once. Maybe once. She's seen you perform.
Okay.
Before I know that. Yeah. At what it was like pre-sesh 2 years.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago. It was in a barber shop. You
Never
did
mind.
a set.
Blah,
and
blah, blah, blah,
yeah. You just wouldn't remember.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all all
we're
hang
all
out.
super close. Like I just spent the last 3 nights at her
dude.
place.
I love it, dude.
10
I've recently been getting close to my brothers.
Where do they
Again,
live? Are they in the city? Because that.
I don't know. Well, Arnab is
Seattle?
in San Francisco.
Oh.
Nice, almost good catch.
Yeah.
Fucking nice.
Wait, what?
He
Oh,
was
because of
in
Amazon.
Because Amazon, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
wow, look at that.
I love a guy who knows stuff. I'm like blushing. I'm like, how did you? That's my brother you're talking about. He was in Seattle.
Well, it
for
also
years.
just seemed what you said seemed insincere because it was too vague. I love a man. So Arnab,
Oh yeah, man.
I love a guy with
ears.
Yeah, and Arnab is in San Francisco.
Arnab was in Seattle. Moved to San Francisco, and he's there with his girlfriend. And then my big brother is in Dallas.
You said you were close as kids, and then
I was best bros with my little brother. Then when I left to college, I really shut him out of my life. I was like, I'm a college kid now. Fuck off. I don't know if you had that moment with Jamie or whatever. I was like, yeah, I don't need you.
we
anymore.
just like didn't speak.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a couple of years.
There's a weird
probably.
moment. Maybe you'll have this. Like in college, you don't like give a fuck about your family at all.
Yeah.
You're like a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know who like I'm me, dude. And then you just like shunt your family. Fuck off, mom. Fuck you, everybody. I have friends. I'm cool. And then you go back. And I said sorry to my brother because he really got affected by that. It was a trauma for him. For me to be like, and one day I was just like, shut up, because he was still in.
Because you were boys.
We were boys, and then like he was in 9th grade or 10th grade, and I just left him for my cool college life, and I just fucking fucked off.
Yeah.
And he got a little depressed. I think he's like still kind of like a little funky sometimes because of that
Just
period.
just losing.
Because I
someone
was
that,
his fucking guy. I was like everything to this guy.
Were you guys in high school at the same time?
No. We were
1
3.
year apart?
So
Yeah.
it was just off. And
Yeah.
it was just like we didn't catch. So he was like, I had to apologize to him later when I went to his house, like a long time later. My big brother, so crazy being 32 years old saying big brother, but like my big brother was a menace in my life a long time. And only the Star Wars thing happened like couple of years ago. And the movie nights, and he kept trying to reach out. And I realized it was, so I got high with my brother and we smoked, and I told him this. I was like, hey man, you really weren't there for me like growing up. And he was like, I know, man. And he like apologized. This is too intense. I just realized as I'm saying this, holy fuck. And we had connected after that. And it was like a very powerful thing, because it was like so many years of like just intensity. And that was the moment after that we got high that we were able to grow from it. And now it's like a very good.
Now you have a really good
Now I see him
relationship.
for the first time in my life at 31. I'm 32 now. I just got to 32, but really 31 was the first year I looked at this guy like an older brother. It took 31 years.
Damn.
An insane amount of time. Wow. And it took all that bullshit, him saying sorry. 'Cause I needed him to acknowledge that he was not a good influence in my life, and he was actually negative. And since that, it's been good. But it really took that long.
Is he in New York?
He's in Dallas now.
Okay. So you
and I
see
went
him, like,
back
when
to
you're
see him.
home?
Yeah, I went home, and it's just the best vibe. And I'm so happy it's like insane how it's all juicing out now.
Yeah.
All my like what I wanted when I was a kid is now like, hey, what's that? Like I'm becoming like a little kid with him again. I'm so happy that he's in my life. I didn't realize how much I wanted this.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that y'all were always kind of like locked in, and it's a
Well,
it's a
we
good
weren't
thing.
close until post college.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, not.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
We weren't close as siblings growing up really at all.
We were like, we'd like play a lot of games, a lot of sports.
You and our oldest brother were.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were even closer in age.
And Abby and I were.
It's factions.
Because we
Gotcha.
were in the same grade. My twin and I were, because we were in the same grade.
But
So we were close for that reason, but
I do remember being like pretty invested in like you doing, like I really wanted you to do well in things. I think maybe because like I wasn't, Jamie was a really good athlete. He was really fucking smart.
Yeah.
And I just remember like being willing to like, Jamie, come throw with me in the summer and like do shit like that.
Oh,
and like try
yeah.
to instill
Yeah,
that in you.
working
Like
out.
you can be even
Working out
better than
together
I
in the
was,
summer.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all had a little bit of like a rivalry, perhaps. Like
No, not even rivalry.
Yeah.
At that point, it was just like, I just want Jamie to, because I knew that he wanted these things.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I know that it's hard to, get onto a
them.
college baseball
Yeah.
team or like
Yeah.
have an exceptional like senior baseball season. So
Got you.
wanted to help him with that. But I was like removed enough like that college phase that,
feel you.
when Jamie had like his like run in with opioids and stuff.
Yeah.
At the time.
His run-in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I was trying to undersell it.
his rigmarole
yeah.
with you can call it addiction.
all the shenanigans Jamie had with Percocet.
He had his like opioid phase, but I was so far removed.
So the Nazis were ne'er do wells.
Hitler and his antics.
They were hooligans, let's say that.
Inside voices, Nazis. Come on. Oh my God.
But to the point that I didn't even know that it was happening until after the fact. Like when Jamie, I guess, told us or talked about it.
No one knew. Yeah.
Right.
Right, but it's because it wasn't even around because you're gone. But it wasn't like I came home and I'm like, Jamie's off. But years later, I was like, fuck. Like I felt like very absent then too.
One time I came home and I looked at my brother's laptop and he photoshopped a picture of he was a man with a shadow, and the man he labeled Usama and the shadow he labeled Arnab. And I'm like, I think we should talk about
it. Was his background?
His background was fucking.
You were
computer.
and he was your.
He was in the shadow of me, like I was the star or whatever of the family. And
Seems
he was the
purposeful so that you saw it.
So I saw it.
Yeah.
What if
he left his laptop open on the kitchen table facing your door,
and he wrote, "Don't look at this." If anything was a cry for help, it was fucking that. Like I feel like I'm in your shadow, or something.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were the star child?
My mom was always hyping me up. Because I got the best grades in the
That's
the
big,
three.
yeah.
Straight A's.
Brown mom.
Were you like a cool, popular kid?
No. Weird as
Really?
fuck.
Really?
I couldn't look at you if I was in high school. 'Cause you know what I'd do if I was talking to anybody? I would cover my face. It was a physical manifestation of my own anxiety and self-loathing. And I would be like, or if I was passing in the hall, I'd try to talk to you with my head shaking so you wouldn't get a visual on my face.
Whoa.
This is for real. I was very, very not confident kid. I'm so confident now because there's a reaction and I had to read books and be like, how the fuck do I figure out how to not be weird as fuck?
You're tall and hot.
Yeah,
I was.
That helps.
But when you're anxious, you don't fucking see anything.
And you're a successful comedian.
Yes.
You're there's a reason you're
Something
confident.
happened. You
weren't
Dude, that's the one thing. I hate reading these books. I'm like, you know what's made me more confident is getting more successful.
Yeah.
And losing my acne. Actually,
Yeah.
As I get better looking, for some reason I become more confident.
If you look back in high school, were you an attractive kid and couldn't see it, or you were late phase? Late.
But also, I was a very skinny kid, and I was very kind of gangly, and my neck was longer. I swear to God, my neck was twice as length. I swear to God,
your neck is shrunk.
Thank God, my neck is shrunk. I was weird. I was a gang. High school was hot in high school. Besides the jocks, right? Y'all were athletes. We were all weirdo looking guys, and brown people don't really get their shit until 23.
Yeah.
25, we become the hottest in 25 era.
Yes.
But that high school, no one's looking at Sanjeev and I can throw it down. So I was weird looking, and I did not get girls to like me. I was not fucking in it. I did have some girls being ew, I would never, I was a weirdo. I was a nerd. I was a DBZ fan. I played video games all fucking day, man. I was a fucking Zelda fanatic.
Yeah.
Wearing the Triforce.
To school?
To school.
Okay.
I was that fucker, And so I was not getting girls. I was very self-loathing. And so all this manifestation happened. But I was funny. I was funny with my friends. I was funny with only my friends for a long time. I was too scared to be funny anywhere else. So you got to look back at your first group of friends you were funny with and be like, thank you for accepting what the fuck I was, because that's the reason I'm funny now.
Yeah.
There's always a first group, maybe it was y'all or each other, a first group that's this guy's fucking the shit.
Yeah.
This guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And they're essential. They don't really realize how essential they really are.
We each had that, I feel, in high school. Probably.
Yeah, we had groups that were really funny together.
You need that fucking riff zone. And then you'd walk by, see the popular group, you're like, they're so hot, but no one's laughing. No one's having a good time, and it felt kind of good.
So true.
They were never having a good time.
So true.
They were just leaning cool on a locker.
All they were doing was talking shit on you.
And that was there. Yeah. It wasn't good material. It was just this guy's gay.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
It's still funny.
Bad example, but
nothing will ever age better than you're gay. You're gay. We were kids. We were fucking weird.
What about college? Did you start getting laid in college? Is that when it
I got
turned?
laid for the first time senior year of college.
Oh, okay.
Of college.
Yeah.
So it was post-college that it turned for you.
Yeah, college I was getting cool. Groups liked me. It was very fun with a lot of brown people. I was cool back then. I looked still kind of gangly, whatever, but I was cool.
Did you go to a big Texas football school?
No, I went to UT Dallas, which is near one.
No, high school.
High school, no.
Yeah.
I went to Plano Senior.
Okay.
Rex Burkhead, who was the Bengals.
Yeah.
I tutored Rex Burkhead.
You tutored him?
I did.
Yeah.
Smart kid. He's a nice guy. He's not smartest.
Yeah.
His brother was really the star. His brother played for Harvard, and he was fucking Like, or played at Harvard, whatever, went to Harvard,
Wow.
played for Harvard, whatever the fuck. But he was like the fucking like star kid. But Rex was like this, just this animal, dude.
Yeah.
He was a star of Plano. He went to some school, A&M. I don't know what he went to. But then he became a star in his own right.
And he's got you to thank for getting him there, getting him into college.
Without me, he's nothing.
Yeah.
Without me, he's nothing. Rex
So
wouldn't-
when did you become? When did it really switch for you? Was it post college?
It was
comedy. Or was
comedy.
it in New York?
Comedy's
or?
everything.
Yeah.
So I was funny, but I was not there. I was not locked in. Again, I was like a passive liver.
Yeah.
And then comedy made everything locked in with comedy. My life started with comedy.
But was it immediate, or was it when you came here and started getting successful?
No. The feeling became immediate, but like
When you were in Dallas.
When I'm in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of like,
Yeah.
my energy shifted immediately. I was like, but I was really bad at comedy. So like, friends would come and be like, what the fuck? I'd have whole friends being like, that was bad, dude.
There's the comedians who'd be like, yo, he's next up.
Yeah. But I, like my hilarious friends, we're all funny and we still hang out.
Yeah.
From Dallas, we're like, yeah, man, you trash, dude. These are my brown friends who still say the N-word type dudes. You know, like these are my black brown friends. You know, and you know your hometown kid who's like still saying the N-word, like that guy. And they were essential in my beginning. They were like once I started comedy, then it was like I was making people laugh, and then it was off. Like comedy was the beginning of a lot of this.
Yeah.
a lot of my personality traits and my confidence and my self-love. Was all
That's what I agree with that. I think one thing that books skip over is you need something to love.
Just
when you're an opioid addict and you're 17 years old and you're bad at everything and you're a failing student, what's there to love?
Okay, hold on. So like, are you reading these books during the opiate part of your life?
After.
Okay. Because I understand how, like, when you're in an opiate addiction, that, like, hey, conceive, you can believe, it's not going to do it. I get it, you know? I feel like if you read those same books now, you would get some different shit out of it, to be honest.
Well, that's what started, that's why I wanted to do comedy. That's like, because it was like, you can just do the thing you want to do. What you're imagining, you can just start to do it.
Yeah.
So then I started researching, like, how do you start comedy? Because I always wanted to do it. And then it's demystified it. And then I started it. And then I realized that's the issue is then I realized I'm like, oh, part of why I felt so valueless was I had no value. You know?
This is the part where you say, no, Jamie.
And in comedy,
yeah.
as I've gotten more value in comedy as like a hierarchy or like a social structure, I felt like I have more value.
I
But that's
understand
the
that completely.
issue is
it's too tied to it.
If you're no, not even that. I'm saying that I think everyone's self-worth is tied to something.
Of course.
Yeah.
And some value structure within a social hierarchy. But I think the issue is when books pretend that's not the case.
Oh, okay.
And there's nothing stupider than you being a guy who's jobless, has no career prospects, and is like very confident. Because that's what we call that is delusional.
Sure. But I agree with you completely. Now, I think that when you first start being funny and you first start getting that attention, like in high school when I first started being funny, that's when my value system was attached. My self-worth was attached to how funny I was. If I didn't get enough laughs that day, I'd get depressed on the way home in the car ride. I'd be like, I fucking suck.
Like literally something in your synapses. Today is still tied back to then.
Right.
Yeah.
So like laughter is, I'm worth more as a human being.
Yeah.
Less laughter means I'm worth less as a human being. The value system, right?
Yeah.
I had to stand up also saved me with that. I don't know if that's true with you. Is that I was able to put my ego in something. You're right.
Yeah.
You have to put your ego in something.
Yeah. Especially when you feel like rudderless.
Right.
Like just working a random job.
The ego is there because we're not monks. Maybe
Yes.
for monks we wouldn't have it, but I don't trust monks because they don't see tits. They don't see tits. You see some tits and then tell me what the path is, right? You know what I'm saying? All these books without the tits, dude. Anyway.
Go to a twerk contest. How about you
Then
go to
see if you
one
wanna be a monk on
fucking
Monday.
twerk contest, one wet
Jiggle,
t-shirt contest,
Motorboat one Vietnamese breast.
go to spring break in Miami,
and then what do you learn after
then
that?
tell us how little ego we need to have.
That's for fucking real, right?
Tell us how material things don't bring
don't
joy.
matter. Once you motorboat two of the best tits on planet Earth. Okay? I promise Shaolin won't seem as fun. This is way shittier than this.
Oh my god.
That's stage, bro. But like
That definitely.
That's so funny.
stays. That's a clip we'll
That's
probably
a
clip.
clip.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. But you see what I'm saying? Like that value system is so dangerous. When I first found comedy, all my ego went there, and
Yeah.
it's a healthy thing to put their ego in because you're building it. Because as you keep doing comedy, you'll get better at it, and that's a very good place to put your ego in. Not even if some people put in their looks, and that's dangerous because we age and our looks. But like as our looks go down, our comedy's getting better. And what a better way to age in life?
Yeah.
Than
When most people are like going
down
exactly.
and you're
You get
building
funnier.
something.
Yeah.
Who's cooler than the oldest kung fu guy? Yeah. He's the coolest guy on planet because he
true.
spent his life attributing to a skill.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate thing is comedy. It's the ultimate touchstone of our lives, ideally, personally.
I wonder if it's unhealthy.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
It sounded
But
so
then-
revelatory, and then Jamie's like, "Well, that doesn't sound like great."
No, but I do wonder.
I'm with you. I gave you Nirvana.
unhealthy?
I gave you Nirvana, and you're like, is Nirvana?
But it's probably there's no real pure healthy way.
No.
That's
to have
exactly
an
my.
ego
That's
anyway.
my argument.
Oh,
is,
okay.
to have an ego.
Well, just
the-
like
the issue is everyone.
It's tied.
does.
That's right.
Even
It's
monks,
tied
their
to-
ego's tied up in having no ego.
But that's my point.
that's
is
their whole thing.
It can.
Actually, I have
really
so
don't-
little
we
ego.
are dunking on monks today, bro. Fuck these fucks.
No, but it's,
But my point is, it'll always be tied to something. So
yes,
yeah.
Like some people, I know people that tie it to like the person they're dating. Mm-hmm. They're dating someone, they feel great about themselves, and then if they're not, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100. That's a vast majority.
But I've yet to meet someone that doesn't really tie it to anything, except I think it helps as you age.
yeah.
But then it goes into your kid, like it's always tied to something.
I think so. I mean, ideally, you can have a healthy relationship and you put it into something
Yes.
that is
Yeah.
beautiful. Like when people garden, that's awesome. When the ego's in gardening and like, I'm going to grow this fucking plant as fucking awesome as I fucking can. Then I guess you're like, okay,
That's true.
Those things you're
Yeah.
putting into a
Yeah.
special thing. But
We need more of that.
you know? And ideally, comedy becomes that. Like you're just doing it for yourself and you're growing and you're tinkering.
Usama,
Yeah,
thank you
that
so
was-
much for
that
coming to
was really
therapy.
good. A pleasure.
We'll
A
send
pleasure.
you an invoice pretty soon, so
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that.
I'm down.
Yeah.
We have to go do 20 sets today.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on.
I'm going to do 18, and I'm going to feel
And
horrible
it's gonna
about
be
myself.
So, like, are you trying to quit or
Yeah,
what?
'cause Jamie's going to do
I'm going to do
25.
25 and get nothing out of it.
And I'm going to do 18 and be mad
Together,
that
y'all
someone did
will be
more.
one healthy person together. I feel like you fuse, become one functional human.
Usama Siddiquee, thank
Love
you so
y'all.
much.
Thank you for
joining
being here.
us.
Much love.
The
Catch y'all.
best.
Bye.